teach this in school. They teach us to follow rules, but not how the game is rigged, not how the scales are tilted, not how they edit the truth. Blacked out pages, whited out names. They don't want you to rise, so they feed you change dressed as scholarships.
They don't teach it. They don't teach it. They don't teach it. They don't teach it.
They teach you dates, but not the blood behind them. Teach you peace, but not the war that's still hiding. Ask them about Tulsa, they stutter. Ask them about red line and they deflect. We learn to read their lives between every chapter they skip.
They don't talk about the real ones who fed the block before the state ever showed up, who guarded kids while the news called them dangerous. We're tactful now, but we don't forget. Strategy runs in our blood. We speak less, but when we do, it cuts like truth.
This ain't rebellion, this is remembrance. This is permission to feel, to weep, to rage, and still walk in power. We built from the ashes again and again. So don't call it luck, call it holy, call it history, call it what your textbooks erase.
They don't teach us in school.
We live it in the streets.
They write the stories.
We correct the receipts.
They hide the names.
We wear them in our beats.
Truth got a mic now.
Let the silence leak.
They don't teach us in school.
We live it in the streets.
They don't teach us in school.
We correct the receipts.
They don't teach us in school.
We wear them in our beats.
True got a mic now. Let the silence see.
They show you protests, never show you provokers. Teach peace, but ignore who broke it. We learn young how to speak in code, because truth in plain sight gets labeled as threat.
They don't teach us. They don't teach why they fear our unity, why they flood our blocks with false solutions, why they call it progress, why we call it pollution. We ain't victims, we've been builders, we've been vision, we've been mission, and now we've been awakened. They don't teach us.
They call border crossers illegal, but they never call guns illegal, never call corruption illegal, never call land theft illegal. Funny how laws shift like shadows when you shine the light, but we see it now clear and we still walk.
They don't teach that our Latin family runs from machetes made with silence, from streets soaked in pain, from prayers whispered under gunfire. They don't want you to know they're not fleeing poverty, they're fleeing engineered death. They don't teach us in school.
We live it in the streets.
They write the story.
We correct the receipts.
They hide the names.
We wear them in our beats.
Truth got a mic now.
Let the silence cease.
They don't teach us in school.
No mention of names, but we know who paid the price. Martyrs teachers, mothers, blood in the roots. They built off our bodies and told us we were lazy. We ain't bitter, we're built, we remember.
You won't find this in AP history.
You won't see this in Disney specials, but we got books with no covers, streets with no plaques, hearts with no closure, and that's why we write bars like eulogies, like warnings, like blueprints.
They don't teach us in school.
From the block to the border, from the march to the mic, we carry the sound of survival, and it don't need your permission. We're not waiting on reform, we are the reform, living, rapping, rising.
They don't teach us in school, because if they did, you might wake up, you might link up, you might speak up, you might see that history ain't dead. It just went independent and dropped a mixtape and with a feature.
We teach it in the beat.
They don't teach us in school.
We teach it in the beat.
They edit the past.
We bring it back complete.
They silence truth, we turn it into heat. This is the real class now, and every line's a seed.
They don't teach us. They don't teach us. They don't teach us in school. They